back row. It should be a classic tussle.
Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic. Let's start at the bottom then. Palu against Kankowski. Kankowski's been a bit of revelation this season. Palu, the highest try scorer for the Waratahs. Phil Ward's been in sensational form. Second, or the runner-up in the Investec Player of the Year competition this year. Elsom against a really tough man of Botes. Vickerman and Muller, two of the best second rowers in the world. Vickerman leading every stat and line-outs and tackles this year for a second rower. And the front row, well, the Sharks have been a very, very strong front row this year. And the Waratahs were really the only pack to put it to them. And don't forget, you've got Matt Dunning to come on as tight hairs, and he's been in terrific form, Matt Dunning.
And in the backs, well, this is mouth-watering, and it's fantastic for the fans in South Africa and here in Australia as well to see this matchup in the back line, especially with Francois Steyn, number 12, getting over the injury and starting tonight.
Yeah, two completely different players. Steyn, flashy, individually brilliant, got some freaky skills. Tom Carter's more of the classic straight up and down player that just does his job and does it really, really well. Jacob's a test player. Horn's only 18 years of age, so he's got a big job tonight. And then you go to Pinar up against Beale, with Pinar again, seasoned test player. Beale only his second season of Super 14, but hasn't he improved so far?
Well, we caught up with the Sharks a little earlier. Of course, they lost by 15 points here 4 weeks ago. And at the start of this week, surprise, surprise, they were talking up their opponents tonight.
Yeah, certainly. The last time we played them, they kind of choked us to death without the ball. And I'm sure they might be trying to do the same thing this weekend. And hopefully we can get into our style and our game and give them a match.
Yeah, I know they got a brilliant back row. I think both the applicants for Palu and Rocky Elson, they're Australian loose trio, so we're going to have our hands full, and hopefully things turn out for us this weekend.
Personally, for each and every one of the forwards, it's a personal thing, and definitely we'll be going out there with all guns blazing.
We got bullied a bit last time at the breakdown in the scrums. They were far superior to us, and maybe we underestimated them a bit. Australian sides, you sometimes think maybe not that strong in the set pieces, but this team certainly show different than that.
Yeah, I think all from 1 to 15, all players match up to against each other, and I think it's going to be a 50-50 call.
Yes, a line ball decision there from Bismarck and Duplessis. Well, both of the coaches, of course, have also done their homework. I know Dick Muir is very excited about some of the matchups on the park tonight, and he spoke earlier with Greg Martin.
Well, Dick, last time up here, no success. What have you planned that'll be different tonight?
Yeah, I think the biggest change between last time and this time is our attitudes. We've got here where we were pretty fortunate in getting into the semis, and we've got a really good side, and we believe that we can go all the way. So it's really just a confidence thing and a change of attitude.
Where are you going to pick on these Waratahs after what you've seen in the last few weeks? Any chinks in the armour?
I must say they're a pretty balanced side. Their backs and forwards combine really well. They're great at the breakdown, and that's where they beat us last time, so we try to improve that area of the game. They've got a pretty good kicking game as well, and they back their defence, so there's not too many weaknesses. We're going to move the ball around a little bit and see what happens there.
We look forward to seeing that. Good luck tonight, mate.
Thanks very much, Greg.
Pretty much everything to gain, nothing to lose. The Sharks tonight, and coach Dick Muir has been a wonderful coach for them over the past few years. He's moving on after the Super 14 to be assistant coach of the Springboks. Well, what about the Waratahs? Well, of course, they go into the match with plenty of confidence because they did finish second in the competition, but they might be favourites. They have the home ground advantage, and they also know there's going to be another huge challenge.
The Sharks are almost the LA Lakers of South African rugby. They're Showtime, they're full stars, and they're back home they're all gods. So any player that they bring in is going to be pretty good. Any game you go into, you probably always want to win the collision at the breakdown, and it's no different this week. Both teams will look to dominate that area, and we've got a couple of great loose forwards who are playing some great rugby as they do.
We've been stepping up to our challenges and knocking them off each week. So we've just got to take that confidence, and we just got to focus on what we got to do.
What's the key? Probably just doing the basics and doing what you have been doing all year, and maybe doing those little things a little bit better in the semi-final. The best thing about this sudden death game is that we're playing in front of our home fans, where in years gone by we've played semis away, especially against Wellington a few years ago. So it's good to be able to play in front of your fans, and hopefully that last sort of 10 minutes when it's close, they can bring us home.
Sydney Football Stadium. What a night on a Saturday, semi-final Saturday. Huge crowd.
The Tarman out there at the moment, Moto. So it just goes to prove that it's not you after all.
Well, a lot of people thought it was Greg Clark as well, Clarkie. He's jumped out, he's rolled, and then he's given the salute. He has become an icon, a cult following all season, the Tarman. His first year as mascot of the Waratahs, and it's worked a treat.
Big crowd expected tonight, the biggest of the season. 24,000 sold on the first day of ticket sales, and it's just been climbing ever since. And this is fantastic to see. It's been a big week for sport in Sydney with international football, State of Origin, Rugby League, and now semi-final. 33-22 earlier on. The Crusaders over the Hurricanes. So the Crusaders, gee, they're a champion team at home come the business end of the season. The Sharks making their way out onto the Sydney Football Stadium, coming off their biggest win of the season, 47-25 over the Chiefs in Durban. They've scored a total of 80 points in their last 2 games. They're unbeaten until week 10, when they lost 3 in a row to the Brumbies, Waratahs and Crusaders. They got their campaign back on track though, and now they're hoping to reach the final for the 2nd year in a row. 6th time they've been in the playoffs, and they're still searching for that elusive title. They've been runner-up 3 times, 96, 2001 and 2007.
There's been a late change if you've just joined us. Epi Toione replaces H.A. Fenter at number 7. Now, Fenter's been one of their players who's been getting them on the front foot the last few weeks. They're going to have to cope with Toione to do the running. Botes will be doing the scrounge to get the breakdown. But it's 10 and 12. They've come together in 2 out of the last 3 weeks. Both of them have overthrown their hangover from the World Cup, have hit form, and they're the real danger men for the Waratahs tonight.
Johan Muller is the captain, 28 years of age, 61st Super Rugby cap. He says fans should expect a better performance from them tonight compared to the last time.
Yeah, you know, obviously last time we were here, we were really dominated up front. You know, they were much more physical than us. And also, I think, you know, in the last 2 weeks, we really got some nice momentum, playing a more expensive game. So hopefully we can do it tonight once again.
Well, they lost here 4 weeks ago. Can they avenge that defeat tonight? So the Waratahs are getting set to come out, crowd on their feet, unbeaten at home in 2008, going for 7 in a row at the SFS. 4th time they've reached the semi-finals, and like the Sharks, they're still looking for their first title. And they're being led out now by the Centurion, Phil Warren, the number 7 jumper, 100th cap for New South Wales. They've reached playoffs on the back of some very good defence, conceding just 1 try in the first half of their past 6 matches.
Well, Phil Ward let him out, and he's going to lead him around the park all night. Those 3 players are the key. Elsom, War, Palu. War, the scrounger. Elsom runs more freely with the ball. Palu, the pole driver, smashes through. What a combination they're going to be. That's where the game's going to be won and lost, Clarkie. Nowhere else.
100th New South Wales cap, 96 Super Rugby cap for the captain, Phil War. He says the Tahs plan to play semi-final football tonight, and it's all about timing.
Yeah, tactics. Probably just get the balance right between attacking, getting field position, and throwing the ball wide. So I guess it's about picking the right time to do all those things.
Makes it sound simple, doesn't it? Lost only one of their last 8 games, the Tahs, despite all the off-field drama over Ewan McKenzie's coaching future. The coach and his players have remained focused and are just 1 win away from the decider against the Crusaders in Christchurch next week. 9 wins and 1 draw this season for the Tahs. 9 wins and 1 draw for the Sharks. Tahs have scored 33 tries, the Sharks 31. And we are underway.